Alright troops, hope we're all well. Nottingham Pubcrawl. Thanks to everyone that voted on their brand redesign. As you can see, it looked a bit like a carrot. Get some pelters for that actually, but we'll get the thread colour sorted on that. But seriously, thanks to everyone. So it was a bit of a dusk till dawn flight that we were on. We were up at the crack of dawn. And I thought, I see all these proper YouTubers filming the plane taking off and what it's like in flight, and I thought, I'm having some of that. I'm going to give some of the Bilko and Friends podcast viewers a bit of that. And as you can see, it was a lovely, lovely morning as we landed down in Birmingham. Got a bit of a nosebleed at going to England for the first time with the channel. But we'd arranged some cracking interviews which are coming up later on. Feel free to skip it, there'll be some timestamps if you don't want to listen havering on. Only regret about that was maybe just only got to spend a wee bit of time in Birmingham because we had a train to catch to Nottingham. But as you can see, it was a lovely smooth flight, some great scenery, and it was a great wee start to the trip, to be fair. If you fail to prepare, you're prepared to fail. So obviously, full English was inhaled. And it was looking very Christmassy in the bull ring. So we got the train to Nottingham. Oh, all the other YouTubers, they show you what their digs are like. So here's my digs. And I was really pleased that my trusty sidekick was with me as well. The man himself, bag of cans, there he is. Who'd brought literally a bag of cans. What else? First stop on Friday was Ye Old Trip to Jerusalem, the oldest inn in England. Fantastic place. We went to Castle Rock, Beerheads, the Vat and Fiddle, which was part of Castle Rock. We actually had quite a nice wee night, nice and chilled, before we had a wee saunter around Nottingham on a Saturday, and this was about midday. There was a wee bit of a Christmas vibe in Nottingham, I have to say as well. But we popped into Lily Langtree's for some more cask. And we went down to the Christmas market, but just on the edge of the square. Who was there but who else? The man himself, old big head, Cluffy. An absolute legend. And I make no apologies for dwelling on that statue. So after we'd said hello to Cluffy, we went up to the Tap House, which is a self-service craft beer bar. I think it was run by Josh and Terry. Really nice guys. They gave us a run of the place. I just wanted to film it a wee bit just to show you what they had. So this is all self-service, which must be really good actually, although I'd imagine in a Saturday night when people are coming in, pouring some of that Imperial Stout, fluffy or bunny, they must have been like, whoa! But you had to show it a bit of respect. But what it was good at is you could just try a wee bit of all the beers. It was only costing like 20-30 pence. So we never tried them all obviously because we had plans that day. But if you're in Nottingham, I would definitely recommend going to the Tap House. Really, really friendly guys. Quite quirky and something a bit different. And as you can see, well, you've seen on the screen there, they've got a bit of everything in there. As I said, it was run by, on the day it was Josh and Terry. They do some nice food there as well. Alright, big man. So, aye, there you go. It's like a petrol station. So you just pour it in, and then you go. Fluffy or bunny. There you go. Up, 6.48. Perfect. Really nice. So after that, we went into the Cock and Hoop, just running for the digs. Nice selection up there as well. And then on to Beerheads, and the main event started. Now, the eagle-eyed amongst you have noticed a special bottle for Emperors that Andy Picken bought there. But this Monkish was our first bottle share, and it was an absolute stunner. This was in Beerheads. A fantastic boozer. Right next to the station. A perfect place to meet the troops. Obviously the big man there with the photography. Yeah, Beerhead's quite small, compact, really polite bar staff. And this is our first meeting with the man, the legend himself, Andy Picken. There was plenty more from Andy later on in the video. He'd a couple of bags of cans with him actually. So we decided to leave Beerheads and we headed round to the King William IV, aka the King Billy Green Facade. We'll touch on that later on. So don't get upset any Celtic fans here, it's a great boozer. Really quirky decor, as you can see. Really unusual. We used to have a wee swatch at that, and then we introduce our first guest. And delighted to have a special guest, and we have Rob from Optimism.
Here I am.
Thanks for agreeing to have a wee chat with us, Rob. How you doing?
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm good. I'm all the better for having a couple of pints.
That's a good pint, that. We're enjoying some cask ales now, Rob. I have to ask you straight away, Optimism.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a wee bit about what you do, please?
Yeah, so I've got an online beer shop called Optimism. Started in about 2014, I think. So it's like 8 years ago now. Bloody hell.
Wow.
Yeah, it's online only, and the mission was to just sell the best craft beer I could, because no one in my town was selling it. I actually wanted to shop, and I went online only just to start, and then it was so nice having no overheads and no staff, so I just kept it going. And I've been doing it for 8 years.
Yep.
It's a bit slow at the moment, I'll be honest with you. Such is life, but we plod on. We're doing all right.
We do indeed. Now, I will link to Rob and the video link, and also throughout the video as well. So check out Optimism. We've arranged a bonus for viewers, which is basically nothing. Get on there, right? No, but all joking aside, if you do order in from Optimism, just mention the podcast. And Rob, well, I'm sure
I can do you a discount if you want.
No, I'll put you on the spot there, no, but honestly, just get and support him because he is a good guy. Now, we're in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Now, I know it's off the beaten track for yourself, but is there anything you can tell us about Nottingham and why people should come here for a bevy?
Do you know what? It is one of the best beer cities in the country, I think. We've got, Leeds was always my personal favourite. Manchester have come on leaps and bounds. London was a place to avoid originally, but it's great. But having Nottingham on my doorstep is fucking brilliant. You've now got a few thriving breweries. We've got Totally Brewed, we've got Black Iris, Neon Raptor, Liquid Light, which we're going to be popping to in a minute actually.
Yes.
But it's also got a cracking bottle shop, Brew Cavern, and it's got some cracking pubs. My personal favourite is probably the Canal House, which is a Castle Rock pub. We've also got places like the Junkyard. We're in the King Billy, which I've never been in before, but it's actually really nice. Nice range of cask and keg beers. I'm on a wild beer, dry hop lager at the moment. Job's a good one. And everything's within walking distance of each other. So whereas other cities you have to plan your drinking within a small zone, Nottingham's got everywhere's a 10-minute walk from each other really. A few hills, but apart from that, it's fucking great.
Brilliant. Now, it'd be remiss of me, I'm going to ask you this question, and I never pre-warned you on this one.
Alright.
Right, you're on a desert island, right?
Uh-huh.
You're only allowed to have one beer. What would it be? I'll give you two.
Okay, well, so I think my answer would have to be, are we presuming, can I have it fresh every time? Is it going to be like a...
Yes.
Right. If it's going to be in the condition I want it every time, my favourite beer ever was, it was a Brewdog beer, Bitch Please Barley Wine, which was absolutely phenomenal, and I actually miss it in my life. If we were talking real life, and it had to be the beer that I landed on the island with, it would be Orval, just because of how that changes over time. As long as it didn't get, too hot.
So we could have if we had a perfect cellar, we could have infinity cases of that. You'd be happy.
Yeah, it'd be nice if a crate of fresh just drifted in every now and then.
Yeah.
I think Orval's the answer really.
Brilliant. I'm going to ask you one more question if that's okay, Rob. Now you're whereabouts are you based at the moment?
We're in Loughborough, which is about halfway between here and Leicester.
Loughborough, right?
Yeah.
So can you name any kind of Loughborough breweries, Leicester breweries, anything you want to mention that the viewers should be checking out?
Yes, Loughborough has got one brewery, Charmwood Brewery, and they're nice. It's more sort of the traditional ales sort of side of things, and it's got a couple of cracking pubs. Needle and Pin being my favourite. Leicester was always a bit behind the curve. It had a nice real ale thing, and it hasn't really cottoned on with the craft beer thing. But saying that, the last few years we've had Two-Tailed Lion, Blue Boar. They've got a Brewdog now. It's getting there, but it's a pale imitation of Nottingham. But if anybody wants to come to the Midlands and have a little drink-a-thon with me, I'll show you the way.
Brilliant. So we'll link to Rob in the video description, and obviously we'll do it on screen as well. Check him out. So can I just ask you something here? I've got a wee beer here myself.
Yeah.
What was it you were drinking again?
Wild beer.
Is it Tannable?
It looks like it.
Would you sesh it?
Yeah.
Yes. Blue Moon at the King Billy, but it's got a green facade, and I'm very honoured. I'm actually going to say I'm actually ecstatic to have on the channel. I'm building you up here, my man. We have the Emperor himself. We have Damien. Firstly, thank you for agreeing to come on.
Not at all.
Brilliant. Now, just for the viewers who have been living under a rock for the last God knows how many years, can you just explain a wee bit about Emperor's Brewing, please?
Sure. So Emperor's Brewery is, it started as a home brew about 20 years ago. And in 2017, we went, I keep saying we, by the way, as if, like, you know, me and the warehouse staff and all the brewing. It's me, it's just me. I went commercial in the back end of 2017. And I just brew imperial stouts and porters. Everything is like black and over 10%. So that was me. I do lots of collaboration beers for two reasons. One, I don't do this for a living. It's just it's a hobby, which has got a little out of hand, to be honest. So I do lots of collaboration beers for two reasons. One, I don't have a lot of time to do it, and two, I just love the craft beer community. I spend a lot of time just, you know, hanging out with craft brewers and learning what they do and teaching them a bit about what I do, and we have a great time. So you'll see a lot of Emperor's collabs out there. Recent collabs, let's think. There's the Omnipollo collab coming out soon. You have got to get on that one. That's going to be absolutely amazing. Monday, I think we launched the Staggeringly Good collab, which is going to be phenomenal. So yeah, that's me.
Damien, can I just ask you, how do the collabs come about? Do the guys just kind of reach out to you on social media? Or?
Yeah, so a lot of so I go to a fair few beer festivals. I do quite a bit of drinking in bars and bottle shops, and so people just kind of send me a message and say, hey, do you fancy doing a imperial stout? And I say yes a lot of the time. It's been, I have to say no more these days. I don't like saying no, but I'm about 35 collabs in arrears at the minute after COVID, because I've said yes to so many people. But yeah, no, I just love it. You know, I've got a lot of friends in the industry, and they say, hey, do you want to come down and do a beer? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do a weekend. Anyone who's brewed a beer, I don't know if your audience have ever brewed beer, but most of it is just stood around, because you mash in and then you just hang around for like an hour, and then, you know, all that kind of stuff. And
how you doing? You all right? Sorry, how you doing? You all right? You're live on the internet.
For a friend.
Oh no, I think she's through there, but you're absolutely fine.
They said he might be on the roof. So
well, it might be on the through there. Might be through there on the roof.
Alright, okay.
No worries. This is just Nottingham, isn't it, mate?
No, so there you go, Nottingham. It's a craft beer hub.
Yeah.
So most of a brew day is just hanging around, and of course, when you go to a brewery and you hang around, you drink. So a lot of brew days is just mostly about social drinking, saying hello. If you've ever seen my Instagram, or you know, I do something called whiskey and wort. So I put whiskey in a glass and we put some hot sweet wort on top of it, and it is literally the most delicious thing you've ever tried. I'm trying to encourage bars to do whiskey and wort for Christmas instead of like mulled wine and stuff like that. Just do whiskey and wort, 'cause it's the best thing ever.
Sounds amazing, and obviously we will link to Damien's socials on the video description, and I will do it on screen, and check him out. If you haven't heard of him, you should be checking him out. I know I'm relatively new to the Emperor scene, and I'll get into it the last couple of years from my friend Gregor, who I will give a wee shout out to here for setting this up. So we're in Nottingham, okay? We've got some lovely punters in Nottingham, so can you just tell us a wee bit about Nottingham and what you think of it and why people should come here?
Yeah, so Nottingham is, I'm absolutely convinced that Nottingham is the best craft beer city in the UK, and I'll tell you why. People talk about Leeds and Manchester and Sheffield and London, and that's all great, and they have some amazing breweries and some amazing craft bars. The reason Nottingham is so amazing is you land at the train station, 30 seconds outside the train station is Beer Heads, and then you've got Beer Heads, Barley Twist, Canal House, Junkyard, Keen's Head, Six Barrel, Brewdog, Jam Cafe, Neon Raptor, Liquid Light, King Billy, Partisan Tap, and you've only walked for 15 minutes. So it is absolutely amazing. Not only is there some incredible craft beer bars, but they are 15 minutes walk from the train station. You've hit 12, 15 craft beer bars. So if you want a really good night, day out in Nottingham, I swear to God, any city in the UK, this is the best craft beer city in the UK.
The Emperor has spoken. Now, I know that you're just based outside Nottingham, you know, about 20 miles away or so, but I feel it would be remiss of me not to ask you, is there any kind of local brewers to you or Nottingham or where you are that you'd like to maybe educate the viewers in?
Wow. So the thing about Nottingham and the East Midlands in general is we've got some incredible craft brewers. So I've got to give a shout out to some really good friends of mine, Bang the Elephant Brewery. They are just sensational. They do some really, really interesting craft beers. It's not just, 4.5% pales and dippers. They do all kinds of things. Gozers, imperial stouts, everything. So you've got Bang the Elephant Brewery, Liquid Light. My mate Tom at Liquid Light, just fabulous, and we're going there later. Neon Raptor, Black Iris. Superb breweries, but then you've got lots and lots and lots of smaller breweries. Well, Castle Rock, which of course is the big daddy in Nottingham. Yeah. But you've got Totally Brewed. You've got Reckless Dweeb. You've got Fire Rock, Linear. I mean, literally, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm sure lots of my friends in Nottingham are really upset that I've not mentioned their breweries. But literally, there is 10, 15 breweries, from the really big guys in Castle Rock all the way down to guys brewing 50-litre brew kits, and they're all just amazing.
I think you've just summed it up with how you spoke about Nottingham and also the breweries. It is just a hotbed of good quality beer of all kinds, from the bottom all the way up to the big heavy hitters, obviously, of which you are the daddy, if you don't mind me saying, the Emperor, sorry. Now, has George Lucas ever got in contact with you?
Wow, not yet. So the Emperor's Brewery logo is literally a UK trademark. I've actually trademarked this logo, so who the hell knows? They didn't say no. But a friend told me, because I didn't know this, obviously, but there is a burlesque show in Australia that is Star Wars based. I've never seen it. I've not looked up the videos on YouTube, obviously. Those C-3POs are very hot. So I kind of get the feeling, if Disney's okay with an Australian burlesque show on Star Wars, I figure it's going to be some time before they come after me. That's my feeling.
Yep. And let's be honest, you don't put out, in terms of your own brewery, massive amounts, do you?
I put out very, very little beer, which is both a problem and a good thing. And I'm also very careful about what I call the beers. So Imperial Guard, Scoundrel, those kind of names. It's usually the collabs that could possibly get us into trouble. But that's their problem. It's not mine. It's kind of their problem. So, we do okay.
Well, I have to say, you do remind me of a kind of younger, handsome version of George Lucas.
I thought you were going to say I look like a Wookiee. No, I'll take that. That's okay.
So just to wrap things up, I'll also say, it'd be remiss of me also not to mention, I know you've done a few things up in Glasgow, and you were telling us earlier on, you're going up to get a barrel, etc. In terms of like Scottish stuff, have you got anything kind of coming up, or anything you can maybe tell us?
I don't, but I've been to Vault City was amazing, Loch Lomond, just amazing. Being down in England, I'd never actually heard of Loch Lomond, but you and Fiona at Loch Lomond were just such lovely people. We had such a great time, and Steve at Vault City. I had an amazing time. I'm a huge whiskey fan. I went to Uskabe and spent so much at the Pot Still and spent so much money on whiskey. So I'm absolutely, if there are any Scottish breweries up there watching, I am absolutely up for it. So you let me know. No face, just, give me a quick
Epochal, simple things.
Yeah, all those guys, just come and say hello.
You've heard it.
Yeah, and we'll brew a big Imperial Stout.
There we go. You're not going to brew like a session Pilsner?
No.
Listen, big man, thank you very much for agreeing to talk on camera. And before I go, I don't know if you know my catchphrase. You're on a wee drink just now at the moment, and I would ask you, would you sesh it?
I will.
Fucking tannable. Rob from Optimism and Damien from Emperors. Absolute legends. Thanks for chatting to us, guys. There were some lovely pictures on. I'm not taking the credit for these pictures, it was Hot Panic that took them. But I'd urge you to keep watching. We do believe in going into the nooks and crannies of a city when we visit it, and there's some cracking people and pubs and breweries coming up. And while you're watching this, please give us a wee subscribe, it'd be very much appreciated. Now let's head to Neon Raptor. So we've got another member of the Nottingham Pubcrawl. We have the lovely Carrie. Now, I've already fucked it up, haven't I, Carrie? I was meant to ask you to introduce yourself.
Yes.
Anyway, so could you just introduce yourself, please, Carrie?
I'm Carrie.
Now, I believe that you're part of a nice wee community group down here.
Yeah, so I am in the East Midlands craft beer group.
It would have been rude not to come today, wouldn't it have?
Well, exactly. 30 miles sounds a long way. It really isn't. It's half hour by train.
So, what does the East Midlands craft group do? I mean, it sounds like a nice wee community thing. What do you do? Do you do meetups?
Mostly, we haven't done a meetup since COVID. We generally are mainly an advertising platform for local beer shops, tap rooms and such like, and breweries, of course.
Brilliant. Now, we are in Nottingham. Now, I've heard it described as the most beeringest city. Is there anything you would like to tell the viewers about why they should come to Nottingham?
There is so many breweries, tap rooms, even pubs that serve various breweries as well. It's just very into the craft beer scene.
Brilliant. Now, we are obviously in the Neon Raptor tap room, which is very apt. Now, I'm going to link to Carrie in the description. I'm going to link to the East Midlands Craft Group. And if you're ever, with the Brighton saying if anybody from Scotland was coming down, that they're more than welcome to get in contact with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's definitely a lot of Derby places that post as well. There's also, we kind of fringe into Anglia with Peterborough as well, because they don't seem to have their own area, so we kind of adopt Peterborough.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now, it would be very remiss of me, given that you've told us what you do, is there any kind of local brewers or any kind of local tap rooms, places that you would like to kind of name check? And don't be offended if you miss some out.
So, obviously, Neon Raptor are a must visit. Also, Black Iris.
Brilliant.
So, yeah.
So, not that I asked you this question before. If you had, I'm going to actually give you 2 beers now. I'm going to put you on the spot. Right. Now, if you had 2 beers, you were stuck in a desert island and you had to pick 1 beer to drink for the rest of your time on that island, what would they be?
So we're now doing 2 beers. Neon Raptor, Naughty Luggage. And at the minute, my beer of the year so far is Black Iris Amaretto Sour.
Fantastic. Now, before I go, you're drinking, what was it you were drinking there? The Naughty Luggage?
Naughty Luggage.
Is it tannable? Is it? Would you sesh it?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
We also do a very Naughty Luggage version, which is deeper.
An Imperial IPA?
Yes.
That sounds good. Would you tan that and would you sesh that as well?
Probably not sachet, but I'd certainly take a couple.
Brilliant. Thanks, Carrie. Definitely give her a wee message on Facebook if you're coming down to Nottingham. I have to say, Neon Raptor was just stunning. Every beer we had in there was fantastic, to be quite honest. I was actually getting a wee bit jealous. I could understand why people were raving about Nottingham. So I thought I'd have a wee chat with someone else. It's over to another one. Would you like to just tell the viewers who you are?
Hi there, my name's Sarah Dunn. I've been involved, I'm not actually working in the industry, but I've been very passionately involved in the industry for over 10 years now, in beer, cheese and cider. I travel around the world. I try and encourage people to enjoy themselves and learn how to pair, and just really sort of take their experiences to another level if I can.
Brilliant. Now, I think you've underplayed yourself there, Sarah, because we have been chatting and I've seen what you do on social media and stuff like that, but can you tell me a wee bit about, is it Tap and Wedge?
Hop and Wedge.
Hop and Wedge, sorry, Hop and Wedge.
Yeah, no, so yeah, Hop and Wedge is like because I have a real job in the real world, so that is my little persona, and that place there, I've got it on Instagram and Twitter, and I kind of use that because I travel so much and I go to places that people don't often want to go to. I use that as a sort of documentary space as well, to share one of my findings, and also I try and run my own little events in private as well, and I'm just there on hand and I help at festivals and like when I can. Which is fantastic. It sounds like a nice wee community. Now, I will link to Sarah on social media, and there'll also be links in the description. Sarah, we are in Nottingham. Everybody, I'm beginning to realise it is one of the, if not the beeringest city in the UK. Can you just tell me why people should come to Nottingham? Oh, well, people will tell you very much about the centre. Like I said, I'll give you the off-beaten track, is that the centre's great. But if you actually get off the beaten track and you go to the small villages and the towns out here, there are so many micro pubs, breweries. You're just for days, and there's even local cider makers here as well. You can go over to Derby Way and you've got cheese makers as well. You can really just get the full spectrum here, from craft to cask to heritage to modern. It's just all here in a very short space. Fantastic. Now, I'm sorry to put you on the spot here, Sarah, alright? Now, if you had one beer and you were stuck on a desert island and you had to have it for the rest of your time on that island, what would it be? Burning Sky Plateau. Ooh, brilliant. So, just for the quality of your answer, I'm going to give you another one. Another one? Oh, can I have a cider? Because so for that case, then I would have a beautiful Oliver's dry cider as well to go with that, and I'd probably say I'd go for a really nice Brie de Mer to put the whole thing together. Now, that's amazing you've mentioned that. Now, we're going off script here, right? Now, do you know what I love? I love a lovely, like the oldest blue cheese possible, and a port. What's your thoughts on that? Oh, that's a classic, and it's a really, really nice one. My favourite pairing that I've probably ever done was I did a smoked American blue cheese over hazelnuts, and I paired that with it was a Crooked Stave Nightmare on Brett Street raspberry sour beer. So it was just like maple syrup and pancakes and bacon with a lovely little sour beer on touch, and it was just lovely. Fantastic. That just sounds, I'm actually drooling here, Sarah, when you're talking about that. So just before we go, you're on the old day. What you on at the old Neon Raptor? I'm on the dry and bitter reptiles in space. Would you sesh it? I'd sesh it. Is it Sanable? Sanable. Cheers. Cheers. Cheers to you as well, Sarah, and this man, Hot Panic. Give him a follow, I'll link to him right now. Cheers for making this happen, bro. So after Neon Raptor, we went to the Liquid Light Taproom. Now, I'm calling it a taproom, but it was actually in a brewery. As you can see, you had the kegs out there. Oh, Rob and Damien, thanks for the chat, lads. So it was actually in a brewery. It was actually literally a piss up in a brewery. You had vegan food, Mock ADs. Great name. Love the artwork from Liquid Light. And when people actually said to me Nottingham was one of the most beeringest cities in the UK, I kinda got it. Because they had all these tables out, they literally had a live band in front of the tanks. They had all their local stuff there, all their own stuff on draft, with a few guest beers. And we get really looked after here by the staff, there they are. Which brought us on nicely to another beer share.
Hello! My name is Gregor and I'm pouring this shite.
You're pouring this shite?
I'm pouring this shite.
This utter quality beer.
Pomona Island, barley wine, made of angel's tears.
The vegetarian food by Mocky D there in the background, which went down an absolute storm.
Where you fucking...
Now at this stage, if you're new to the channel, I just want to point out, we are a wee bit drunk. I was going to say inebriated, but we're a wee bit drunk at this stage. We've been on it the Friday, we've been on it all day on the Saturday, and we're obviously at Liquid Light, we've been at Neon Raptor, loads more to come. I have to say Nottingham was living up to its tag of one of the most beeringest city, and it would be remiss of me not to grab a chat with these guys and all.
So here we are at the Neon Raptor, getting pestered by the local paparazzi, as you can see. No, we've actually got Gregor, Hot aka Hot Panic, thought he was getting out it tonight, take the camera away. He's a smile for the troops. He's a smile for the troops.
I don't have a smile for the troops. Yeah.
So here we are actually at Liquid Light.
Enjoy
Taproom.
yourselves, troops.
And I'm actually very, very honoured. Because if I got someone here that I've heard a lot of people saying to me, knows a lot of stuff about beer. And then they introduced me to Andy Picken. All joking, Andy.
How do?
Not bad. All joking aside, it's an absolute pleasure to meet you, and it's been a real pleasure to drink with you today.
It's been good crack, right?
So could you just introduce yourself for the troops?
So, I'm Andy Picken. I am not a brewer. It's an important thing you need to know. But I'm a microbiologist. My claim to fame is being in the right place at the right time. But yeah, I'm a scientist. I still do fermentation. We just don't ferment beer, we ferment medicine. So the margins are better, but the bolic is higher than beer. You know, quality control more important. So yeah, brewing is going to be my retirement plan, as it were.
Sounds it, man, because if it's just up to me right now, Andy, you look like a walking fashion line for Emperor's Brewing bloody merchandise to me.
All I'll say about that is that Hell and his wife does a really good line of really comfortable merchandise. So if it was shite, I wouldn't wear it. Simple as.
So, all joking aside, we are in Nottingham, Andy.
We are.
And we have had a couple of beers today, but I know that Nottingham maybe does have a wee bit of a special place in your heart. Is there anything you can say? Why should people come to Nottingham?
Before I moved to the northeast, I spent many years in Loughborough, and Nottingham was the place you go to go for good beer. You know, Keen's, Canal House. It's nice now to come and see places like Neon Raptor, Liquid Light, where we are right now. Like, Nottingham really has evolved as one of the central places of beer culture in the UK. It is one of the best places to go. If you like your twig, there's a place for you. If you like your sours, there's a place for you. If you like your fancy, crazy Imperial Stouts, there's a place for you in Nottingham right now. Nottingham is one of the best places to go, and that's why we're here this weekend.
So, if I could just cut that all away from you, and you ended up on a desert island, and you were only allowed to have one beer for the rest of your life, what would it be? And you're only getting one.
Only one?
I'll give you two.
Sempanadis, because I can drink the living fuck out of that and it'll keep me alive.
I'll give you another.
One more? I reckon one more beer, right? One more actual alcoholic beer. Nothing else other than beer.
No, you can choose a non-alcoholic beer if you're that. If you're basically.
If I had another alternative drink, it would be.
Oh, hang on a minute. Non-beer.
Yeah, Port Charlotte whiskey.
Whoa! Here, troops. This guy, he's fucked a fucking format here.
If you put me on a desert island, and I can only have one thing.
Explain.
So, Port Charlotte is
in less than 1 minute.
One of the most phenomenal whiskies from Buckley Distillery. If you put me on a desert island, I wouldn't want to live a long time. I want to live a good time, and the way I'm going to have a good time is one bottle of Buckley down my gullet. I'm going to die happy on the desert island. Desiccate The wildlife will eat my body, I will become one with the earth, and I won't have to deal with being found or worrying about that. I will enjoy a few weeks of really good whiskey.
Brilliant. Now before we go, what you on at the moment?
I have no fucking idea. Damien got this for me.
Would you say shit?
I am.
Is it tannable? Oh, you fucking seshed it. Is it tannable?
Yes. To
So we are still in the Liquid Light Taproom. Just Keg City. Keg City. So it is. But I'll tell you, I've grabbed her while she was on a wee tea break. And it's Jo.
Hello.
So Jo, you do work in Liquid Light. I've stole your thunder. Haven't I? Already. But Jo, can you just tell us about what you do?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Jo Joyce. I have been working at Liquid Light since the start of this year. And I work on events, I do some back-end stuff, I do business administration, and I also work behind the bar on the events that I run.
Fantastic. Now, Liquid Light have such a wide array of beers.
Yes.
In fact, we have tried a few. Do you know one thing is I love about Liquid Light? It's just a mad broad range of beers. Can you tell us a wee bit of Liquid Light?
Yeah, of course. So the name Liquid Light actually came from the owner, Tom Stone. He watched a Pink Floyd documentary and it was all about the liquid lights. So the whole ethos of the business is music and beer. So some of our favourites, we've got Roxy and Elsewhere that's on at the moment, that's bitter, obviously named after Frank Zappa. We've also got the Freak Out beer with the Susie Cream Cheeseburger from Mocky D. So we try and pair all of our beers with music basically.
What I would say is get down to Liquid Light Taproom if you're lucky enough to be in Nottingham, which leads me on to my next question. Why should people come to Nottingham, Jo?
Nottingham is a really buzzing city. So there's 2 universities here, which does mean there's a lot of bar crawls that are happening. But there's also some venues that are specifically catered for not students. And I would say that tap rooms, we've got plenty. We've got Black Iris Brewery. We've got us, Liquid Light. There's Lincoln Green, which is another
Neon
micro
Raptor.
brewery. Neon Raptor.
Am I right in saying people should just come down to Nottingham?
Absolutely. They should just come to Nottingham, enjoy the beers. We've got some great history here as well. One of the oldest pubs in Europe, actually, the trip to Jerusalem. Well, I think it's arguably one of the oldest. But
Well, I'm going to correct you here.
1193.
I'm going to correct you here. Ye old.
Ye
trip
oldie.
to Jerusalem. Was there last night?
Yes.
Absolutely loved it.
It's a
Check that out.
fantastic place.
So we're talking from ye old. Armageddon is upon us, right? You are left in a desert island
Yes.
with one beer. What would it be?
Oh, okay.
You're only getting one.
I'm only getting the one. It would have to be, the Wild Hunt beer that we've got on tap at the moment. It's a
Oh, sorry. Not allowed to be one of your own.
Oh no! Okay. If it can't be one of my own, probably Endless Summer by Black Iris.
Stunner.
It's
Absolutely.
a great beer. Really
Absolutely
easy
stunner.
going.
See that Endless Summer, man? Would you say it?
Yes, absolutely.
Is it Sannable?
Aye.
Do you know, I don't know if I'll be getting back into Nottingham at this rate, but it really was an amazing day. So there was one brewery that had been popping up all day, and he'd actually joined the company. It was Black Iris. Everybody was raving about Black Iris, so Dan was actually with us, and yeah, what a guy. We interview with him coming up. There was bottle shares galore going on, by the way. The red carpet was literally rolled out, Jam Cafe out there. There's far too many pubs to mention. I just want to thank you all, but keep tuned, because there is a nice few couple of interviews coming up, particularly the one at the end with me and Gregor. And as I said, please subscribe to the channel. It would be much appreciated if you could do that for me. But over to you, Dan.
Let's do it.
Name?
Dan.
Brewery?
Black Iris.
It's funny you should say that, because one of the people that was talking to Carrie was saying that she would take that in a bit.
Carrie.
Not sponsored. All right.
No affiliation.
Tell us about Black Iris.
Black Iris. Where do you start? Old school brewery. Whether or not you know it.
Started 11 years ago now, predominantly cask. Started over in Derby, now we're in Nottingham. Snake Eyes, Endless Summer, silly metal references, pun names, nostalgia, punk metal. Not me though, just Alex. I just make the stuff, he does all that sort of stuff. That's about it in a nutshell. Yeah, he does that, I make the beer.
Why should people come to Nottingham?
Oh, come to Nottingham. It's a lovely little city. It's like a big village. Everyone knows each other. Lots of fun little breweries. You've got Neon Raptor and Liquid Light within a stone's throw. Jump on the tram that you're at our spot. Loads of great pubs. People really give a shit about the pubs here. A lot of people working really hard to make sure that people have a really good time. What's different to Nottingham? As I say, it's just a nice little crew of people. Yeah, loads of good reasons to come to Nottingham. Decent little indie music scene, lots of little independent places.
If you could take one beer to a desert island and drink it for the rest of your life, what would it be?
A hot desert island, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Braybrook Session Lager has to be.
You've got to, because you answered it quickly.
Yeah. Oh, two. Oh shit. Okay. Braybrook Session Lager, and then some a bit. Jesus wept. A retro racer, Neon Raptor. Get it while it's hot.
Really?
Yeah, lovely.
I love that.
Delicious.
And that just sums it up about. So, see that beer you just mentioned? Would you sesh it?
Yeah, totally.
Is it tannable?
It's tannable.
Are you going to give us a big cheers?
Cheers, guys. Much appreciated. Cam Cafe, you rock.
Now, as you can see, troops, we're a wee bit inebriated at this stage. However, it's been a great day, and Andy Picken had brought this beer, the Emperor's Broken Heart. It was number 1 of 19 only. And as we poured this, there was a wee bit of a nice emotional toast, and it was an absolutely stunning beer. There is a story behind this beer. And I think at this stage, I would just like to pay respect to everyone who's lost someone. A poignant moment indeed. But we're still in Nottingham, and we're in the Jam Cafe.
Bradley.
Yeah.
How you doing? Honestly, I have to say, Jam Cafe is one of my favourite bars in Nottingham. I have to say that. Why should people come to the Jam Cafe?
To see me, to buy me a beer, and to drink some of the best beers available in this fine city.
Is Nottingham, I have to admit, I know Nottingham is one of the most beeringest cities in the world. Why should people come to Nottingham?
Why should they come here? Well, we've got Black Iris, we've got Neon Raptor, we've got Liquid Light, we've got Castle Rock, we've got some very good small breweries that are doing interesting stuff, that aren't just making the same stuff every week. The beer list that Black Iris send me over every month has got loads of stuff on it every time. Neon Raptor make a stupid amount of beers. They're all brilliant. The tap rooms are great, but also there's lots of small independent bars run by people that care, and yeah, it's a good city for beer.
If you were stuck in a desert island and you only had one beer and you had to pick one, and it's not one that you serve, what would it be?
Well, this is a problem because all my favourite beers are usually Imperial Stouts and Imperial Sours. But
like Emperor shit?
Yeah, exactly. I would say that the Liquid Light collab with Emperors was amazing. But would it be my desert island beer? I don't know, because it's too hot on a desert island. Unless the desert island was in... Could it be an ice island in the north? Maybe up near Greenland.
You've actually making me cook. Do you know something? I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But if you could pick one, what would it be?
Black Iris Endless Summer, just because I can drink it all day long.
You're the second person to say that tonight. Can I just say, Bradley,
yep.
You're a top man. And by the way, if my missus is watching this, don't watch this because he's a right handsome devil, isn't he?
Thank you.
Well said, that man. So it was on from the Jam Cafe to the Keen's Head, and as you can see from this wee montage, well, people were having a good time at this stage. We managed to batter in one final bottle share. It was a Mills I do apologise, I can't remember who had produced that bottle, but hats off to all the bars we visited, all the brewers, and just generally the people that we spent time with in this pub crawl. It really was one of the best days I've actually ever had in beer, if not the finest. And Nottingham definitely bills itself as the beeringest city in the UK, does it? Well, some of the people have said that, and I can see why. And it was sad when we had to say goodbye to some of the troops, but we all had got homes to go to. Just thought I'd give you a wee run through the King's Head. They looked after us in there quite a lot. A cracking old school pub with an unbelievable whiskey range as well. But I think I'm just going to leave the last word to myself and Gregor, aka Hot Panic.
If there was one man who was responsible for this tonight, it is Gregor, aka Hot Panic, and he's also been providing the unbelievable pictures that we've had in Nottingham. Have you had a good night, Gregor?
Very good night, man. Very good night.
Are we going to have another chat about this in the future?
Of course, once I've sobered up.
And can I just say something to Gregor? I fucking love you, by the way.
I love you too, mate.
I fucking love you, man. Let's cuddle each other, man. Outside.